All right, let's dive right in. We're going to explore a really radical idea from the Zohar today. It's the idea that we're all living in one of two parallel realities. And get this, every single choice we make, it feeds one of those worlds and starves the other. So what are these two worlds? And how do we actually choose which one we're living in? Let's find out. So here's our roadmap for the journey. First, we're going to uncover the primal choice that actually creates these two different realities. Then, we'll explore the absolutely radiant world of the Tree of Life and the cosmic engineering behind it. After that, we're going to venture into the serpent's dominion to really understand its corrosive power. And then, we'll bring it all home and see how you can consciously choose your world every single day. Our whole journey kicks off, as it so often does in the Zohar, with just a single verse from the Psalms. But this isn't just some nice, poetic saying. Nope. According to the mystics, this verse is the master key. It's like the foundational code that unlocks the entire operating system of reality itself. Now, on the surface, this verse seems pretty straightforward, right? It's about justice, doing the right thing. But the Zohar, it sees something way deeper, something cosmic. Keeping judgment in this mystical sense isn't about law. It's about unification. It means connecting our physical reality, which the mystics call malchut, the kingdom, with the divine flow of energy they call tiferet, or beauty. And that is the spiritual heart of the Torah. So happiness, it's not just a feeling. It's the actual state of being you get when you keep these two worlds perfectly aligned. So that just raises the ultimate question, doesn't it? If our main job is to unify our world with a higher one, that implies there's another option, a state of disunification, of separation. So what are these two parallel worlds that literally hang on the choices we make? And here they are, side by side. It lays out the two paths so clearly. On one side, you've got the world powered by the Tree of Life. This is a reality defined by unity, by connection, by a constant divine flow. It is the world of pure being. And on the other side, you've got the serpent's dominion. This is a world of fragmentation, disconnection, stagnation, and entropy. It's a parasitic world that only exists in the shadows of the first one. And every choice, every action, every thought you have, it strengthens one and weakens the other. Okay, so let's walk down that first path for a bit. Let's explore this world of connection, the world that's sustained by the Tree of Life. And it is absolutely critical to get this. For the Zohar, this is not just some pretty metaphor. It is the literal blueprint for divine reality. It's the architecture of life itself. Now here's where the Zohar's thinking gets really wild. It completely redefines life and death. The Tree of Life, the Etz Haim, is this incredible network of 10 divine energies, or sephirot, that create the entire blueprint for reality. And to be connected to this network, well, that's what it means to be truly alive. It's why the Zohar says that anyone who holds on to it will not taste death. Because in this view, death isn't just a biological event. Death is the state of being disconnected from this divine flow. Disconnection is death. So, how do you plug into this source of pure being? The Zohar couldn't be more direct. The Torah is the Tree of Life. It's not like it, it's not a symbol for it, it is the thing itself. The mystics teach that the very letters of the Torah are conduits of creation. So studying it and living by it is like having the user manual for aligning your consciousness with reality's core programming. It is how we actively choose to build and live in that world of connection. Okay, but how does that actually work? It's one thing to say connect to the divine, but it's another thing to understand the mechanics of it. So let's look at this like a form of cosmic engineering. Let's check out the schematics of how this alignment actually sustains and builds our reality. Here's a way to think about it that really clicks for a modern mind. Just imagine for a second that reality is this vast, divine power grid. The ultimate source of power is infinite, but for that energy to actually light up our world, it needs a secure, stable connection. While the Torah and its commandments, the mitzvot, they are the divine protocols. They are the spiritual hardware and software that create and maintain this high-voltage connection, allowing that life force to be drawn down safely and powerfully into our world, into Malchut. Let's just walk through this process step by step. It all starts with a person aligning their will with the divine will. This is all about conscious choice. That choice acts like a key, and it opens a channel for divine energy to just flow down through Tiferet, which is the central pillar of the Tree of Life. And then finally, that energy infuses our world, Malchut, bringing it vitality and harmony. See? It's a direct causal chain, and it's powered entirely by our actions. This connected state actually has a distinct signature, an aesthetic to it. The Zohar describes its colors as white and gold. White represents chesed, which is this expansive, unlimited energy of loving kindness. And gold represents gevura, the energy of discipline and judgment, but in a balanced, beautiful way. And its core number? It's 1. It symbolizes a reality where everything is in perfect, unified harmony. Okay, now we have to pivot. We're going to leave that radiant world of white and gold and step into the parallel reality, the world of shadow, of fragmentation, of disconnection that exists when that primary connection to the tree of life is severed. Welcome to the serpent's dominion. The Zohar calls this place the Sitra Achra, literally the other side. And it is so important to understand this. This is not some independent evil power fighting against God. That's a different mythology. In the Zohar system, the Sitra Achra is a cosmic force of entropy. It's a parasitic system. It has no life of its own. It can only feed on sparks of divine light that have become disconnected from their source because of our choices. And its primary symbol is the coiling serpent, representing a force that just consumes and fragments reality. And the Zohar finds this whole concept encoded right there in Scripture. When King Solomon writes, "Her feet go down to death," or "I find more bitter than death the woman," the mystics see a direct reference to the seductive pull of the Sitra Achra. It's that allure of disconnection, of self-interest that's separate from the whole. And that's what ultimately pulls a person's consciousness away from the tree of life and into that spiritual state we defined earlier, death. So let's get specific. What happens on a mechanical level when the connection to the tree of life is weakened or, God forbid, broken? How does this parasitic system actually take over? It's time to dissect the anatomy of the spiritual system breakdown. A really simple way to visualize this is with a video game analogy. If you've ever played an RPG, this will make perfect sense. Think of living a life connected to Torah as being in a safe zone. It's powered by the tree of life, you've got health, you've got resources, everything's good. But when you choose to disconnect through actions that separate you from that flow, it's like you're intentionally walking into a corrupted zone. And in this zone, the environment itself is hostile, and the enemies, the forces of the Sitra Achra, they gain power by literally draining your life force. Here's exactly how the system breaks down. It all starts when we slacken the connection to the Torah. Now, that divine energy, it doesn't just vanish, it gets diverted. It gets rerouted to what the Zohar calls the end of the left side, which is a realm of pure, raw, unbalanced judgment, or din. This chaotic energy then becomes food for the parasitic forces known as the klipot, or husks. They are the agents of the Sitra Achra, and they get stronger from the very spiritual energy that we've allowed to be diverted. So let's just put it all side by side. I mean, look at this. On the left, the world of connection, defined by unity, the number 1. Its colors are white and gold, the colors of life. The result is sustenance. Now look to the right, the world of disconnection, defined by fragmentation. Its signature colors are red and black, the colors of raw judgment and the void. And the result is corruption. The choice and its consequences, they really couldn't be any clearer. And this is where this entire, vast, cosmic drama comes right back down to earth, right back to us, right here, right now. Because this isn't some ancient mythology we're talking about. According to the Zohar, this is a moment-to-moment choice. It is the daily, hourly, second-by-second practice of reality building. So here's the question that really matters. With your current thoughts, with the actions you're about to take, with the state of your consciousness in this very second, which world are you building? Which system are you feeding? Are you wiring reality for connection or for corruption? This isn't a passive question. It's the most active question there is. And the Zohar doesn't just leave us hanging there. It gives us a toolkit. To actively choose and forge that connection to the tree of life, it prescribes these 4 core practices. First, Torah study. That's the primary tool for aligning your mind with the divine blueprint. Second, prayer, especially with kavanah, with focused intention. That's the act of directing your consciousness back to the source. Third, mitzvot, the physical commandments that are described as the actions that literally wire our physical world for holiness. And finally, humility. The Zohar says something so profound. Just like water always flows downhill, the Torah can only rest in a low place. Humility is the vessel. It's the absolute prerequisite for any of this connection to even begin. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.